Hi everyone, myself Dr. P. Soumya, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. In this session, I am going to cover the topic hotspots of biodiversity. So, in this session, I am going to cover the topics definition of biodiversity, what is the criteria of hotspots of biodiversity, important hotspots of biodiversity. What is the definition of hotspots of biodiversity? So, large regions. So, hotspots are large regions containing exceptional concentrations of plant and animal endemism. So, large regions containing exceptional concentrations of plant and animal endemism. So, and experiencing high rates of habitat loss. And experiencing high rates of habitat loss. So, what is the definition means? Large. So the hotspots are the large regions containing exceptional concentration of plant and animal endemism and also experiencing high rates of habitat loss. So, biodiversity hotspots are a method to identify those regions of the world where attention is needed to address biodiversity loss and to guide investment in conservation. So, biodiversity hotspots, it is a method to identify those regions of the world where attention is needed, to address biodiversity loss. So, this is to address the biodiversity loss and to guide investment in conservation. So, to guide investment in conservation of biodiversity. So, the idea was first developed by Norman Myers in 1988. So, this hotspots of biodiversity. So, this was first developed by Norman Myers in 1988. So currently 35 biodiversity hotspots have been identified worldwide. So currently 35 biodiversity hotspots have been identified. So most of which occur in tropical forest. Most of these are occur in tropical forest. So they represent just 2.35% of Earth land surface. So but between them they contain around 50% of the world endemic plant species and 42% of all terrestrial vertebrates. So overall, hotspots have lost around 86% of their original habitat, and additionally, these are considered to be significantly threatened by extinctions induced by climate change. So here, so we know that the currently 35 biodiversity hotspots have been identified. So here, most of these are which are placed occur in tropical forest, and they represent just 2.3% of Earth's land surface. But between them, they contain around 50% of the world endemic plant species and 42% of all terrestrial vertebrates. So, what is the criteria of a hotspot of biodiversity? So, here the criteria is to qualify this as a hotspot, a region must meet two criteria. To qualify as a hotspot, so a region must be qualified, must meet two criteria. So, here first criteria is it must contain at least 1500 species of vascular plants. So here, so 0.5 less than 0.5% of world's total as endemics. So to qualify the hotspot, a region must meet two criteria. First criteria it must contain at least 1500 species of vascular plants as endemics. So second criteria is it has to have lost less than or equal to 75% of its original native habitat. So here it has to have lost So less than or equal to 70% of its original native habitat. So these are the criteria, two criteria. So to qualify as a hotspot, so this first one is it must contain at least 1500 species of vascular plants as endemics, and it has to have lost less than or equal to 70% of its original native habitat. So here hotspots of biodiversity is important hotspots are the Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. So, we have 35 uh, hotspots of biodiversity. So, but in this only 10, we are discussing here 10 hotspots of biodiversity. So, some important hotspots. So, first one is Western Ghats and Sri Lanka, Himalaya, Mediterranean Basin, Indo-Burma, Horn of Africa, Madagascar and Indian Ocean Islands, Sunderland and forests of Australia, Caucasus and Mesoamerica. So these are some of the important hotspots of biodiversity. So first one is Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. So Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. So these Western Ghats of southwestern and southwestern Sri Lanka are similar in geology. The Western Ghats of southwestern and southwestern Sri Lanka. So these are similar in geology, climate, and evolutionary history. So here the Western Ghats of southwestern and the southwestern Sri Lanka. These are similar in geology, climate, and also evolutionary history. The Western Ghats, known locally as Sahyadri Hills, run parallel to India's western coast. So about 30 to 50 kilometers inland. So they cover an area about 1,60,000 square kilometers. So and stretch for 1,600 kilometers from Gujarat to South Tip. So this is about Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. So here in Western Ghats and Sri Lanka, species diversity and endemism. So this is a table where it explains about species diversity and endemism. So here the plant species, these are in 5,916 species are there, and endemic species are 3,049, and endemism percentage is 51.5 percentage. So whereas mammals, so these are having 140 species and endemic species are 18 and percentage is 12.9. Birds, so these are 458 species are there. So endemic species are 35 and endemism percentage is 77.6. So reptiles 267 and endemic species are 174, and this is endemism percentage is 65.2 percentage. So here reptile endemism percentage is more. So here amphibians, so this is 178 species are there. So 130 are an endemic species and 73 percentage is endemism percentage. And freshwater fishes 191. So endemic species are 139. 72.8 is endemism percentage. So these amphibians and freshwater fishes, so these endemism percentage is more. So this is about the species diversity and endemism in Western Ghats and Sri Lanka. So next hotspot is Himalayan. It includes the entire Indian Himalayan region. So here it includes entire Indian Himalayan region. So here that falling in Pakistan, Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, China and Myanmar. So here the Himalayan includes in entire Indian Himalayan region. So the Himalaya hotspot, it is home to the world's highest mountains. So we know that the Himalaya hotspot, it is the home to the world's highest mountains. And the hotspot is home to important populations of numerous large birds, mammals, including vultures, tigers, elephants, rhinos, and wild water buffalo. So this hotspot, it is home to important populations of numerous large birds, mammals, including vultures, tigers, elephants, rhinos, and wild water buffaloes. So this is the table of species diversity and endemism in Himalayan. So plants, so here 10,000 species are there. Plants and endemic species are 3,160. Endemism percentage is 31.6%. Mammals, this is 300. Types of species are there and endemic species are 12. And endemism is 4.4%. Birds, 977 species are there and 15 endemic species and 1.5% are endemism. So reptiles, these are having 176 species and 48 species are an endemic species and 27 percentage is endemism percentage. Here amphibians and freshwater fishes, so 105 species are there. So freshwater fishes are 269 species are there. So in case of amphibians, 42 endemic species are there. So in this case of freshwater fishes, 33 is endemic species are there. So percentage is amphibians for amphibians 40% of endemism and 12.3 for freshwater fishes. So this is about plants, mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and freshwater fishes. So species, endemic species, and what is the percentage of endemism? So if we see this, so amphibians are having more endemism percentage, that is 40 percentage. So in next hotspot is Indo-Burma. So here encompassing more than 2 million kilometers square of tropical Asia. So Indo-Burma, it is still revealing its biological treasures. So Indo-Burma, it is still revealing the biological treasures. 6 large mammal species have been discovered in last 12 years. Six large mammal species. So these have been discovered in last 12 years. So the large antlered munchak and also animate munchak. So it the gray shanked dog and animate striped rabbit. So and also the leaf deer. So here, so these are the endemic species. These are endemic species which are found in Indo-Burma region. So here the hotspots also holds a remarkable endemism in freshwater turtle species, most of which are threatened with extinction due to over harvesting and extensive habitat loss. So here in Indo-Burma hotspot, it is also holds remarkable endemism in freshwater turtle species. And most of which are threatened by with extinction due to over harvesting and also extensive habitat loss. And also bird life in Indo-Burma, it is also incredibly diverse, holding almost 1,300 different birds species, including the threatened white-eared night heron and the grey-crowned crocus, and also orange-necked partridge. So these are these are holding almost 1,300 different bird species. So here different birds which are including threatened white-eared night heron, so and also grey-crowned crocus, orange-necked partridge. So this is the table of species diversity and endemism in Indo-Burma hotspot. So here we are having 13,500 species of plants and in this 7,000 endemic species are there and the endemism percentage 51.9 percentage and mammals are species we are having here 433 species of mammals in that endemic species are 73 and endemism percentage 16.9. So 1,266 species of birds are there in Indo-Burma hotspot and 64 species are endemic species and 5.1 percentage is endemism. So for reptiles, the species count is 522 and endemic species are 204. So here the percentage of endemism is 39.1 and whereas amphibians, so these are count is 286, endemic species are 154 and percentage of endemism is 53.8. So whereas freshwater fishes, these are species are 1262 species are there. In that 553 endemic species are there. So total the endemism percentage is 43.8. If we see this table again, that amphibians are in danger. So the endemism percentage is 53.8 percentage. So the Sunderland, next hotspot is Sunderland hotspot. The Sunderland hotspot, it covers the western half of Indo-Malayan. So here's the Sunderland hotspot covers the western half of the Indo-Malayan. So here the dominated by the two of the largest islands in the world. Borneo 7,25,000 kilometers square and Sumatra 4,27,000 300 kilometers square. So here more than a million years ago, the island of Sunderland were connected in mainland Asia. So more than a million years ago, the islands of Sunderland were, so these are connected to mainland of Asia. So as sea levels changed, this connection periodically disappeared. So as sea levels increased or changed, this connection between mainland Asia and Sunderland, so this is periodically disappeared and eventually leading to the current isolation of islands. So the current isolation of islands. So notable plants in hotspot include members of genus Rafflesia. So Rafflesia arnoldi, and also has the largest flowers in the world and measuring up to 1 meter in a diameter. So this here we are having in Finland, the hotspot, we are having largest flowers in the world. So these are measuring up to 1 meter in diameter. So here diameter of the flower, it is in 1 meter of the diameter, 1 meter in diameter. So examples of these hotspot, that is genus Rafflesia arnoldi. So these are the having largest flowers in the world, measuring up to 1 meter in diameter. So here these are the species diversity and endemism. So here we are in the land, we are having 25,000 species of mammals, plants, and 380 species of mammals, birds 769, and reptiles 452, amphibians 242, 244, and freshwater fishes are 950. So if we see the endemic species, the plants endemic species are 15,000. So if mammals are 172, birds are 142, reptiles 243, and 196 is the amphibians, and 350 for freshwater fishes. So if we see the percentage of endemism, so plants are having 60% of endemism. So whereas again amphibians are having the endemism percentage is more, where that is 80% of endemism. So here Mediterranean basin. So here this is the Mediterranean basin. It is one of the world's richest places in terms of animal and plant diversity. So Mediterranean, so it is particularly noted for the diversity of its plants, about 25,000 species. So these are native to the region, and more than half of these are endemic. So here we are having 25,000 species are native to so region, but more than half of these are endemic. So here an outstanding center of biodiversity, so but also one of the most threatened mainly by human activity. So this is an outstanding richness of plant. This is a outstanding center of biodiversity, but also one of the most threatened. So this is by mainly by the human activities. So besides this great richness of plants and high proportion of Mediterranean animals, so these are unique to the region. So 2 out of 3 amphibian species are endemic, and as well as half of the crabs and crayfish 48% of reptiles and a quarter of mammals, 14% of dragonflies, 6% of sharks and rays, and 3% of the birds. So in this Mediterranean basin, so here endangered species are monk seal, so bald ibis, so pangolin, so etc. These are endemic. Some of the endangered and endemic species in the Mediterranean basin. So here next hotspot is Horn of Africa. The Horn of Africa denotes the region containing the countries of Djibouti and also Eritrea, Ethiopia and Somalia. The Horn of Africa, so it is almost equidistant from the equator and also Tropic of Cancer. So this Horn of Africa, so it is almost equidistant from the equator as well as the Tropic of Cancer. So about 220 mammals are found in the Horn of Africa. So among threatened species of the region include Somali wild ass and the desert warthog and the Hamadryas baboon, Hamadryas baboon and also Somali pygmy gerbil. So the Gravy's zebra, it is a unique wild equid. So of the region Horn of Africa region. So these are endangered. These are said to be endangered in Horn of Africa. So some important bird species so of the horn are the black babu and also golden winged grosbeak. So these are also used are endemic species. So Madagascar and Indian Ocean Islands. So the Madagascar and Indian Ocean Island biodiversity hotspots include the island of Madagascar and several neighboring island groups. So the Madagascar and Indian Ocean Island biodiversity hotspot, this includes the island of Madagascar and several neighboring island groups. Several neighboring island groups. Madagascar, it is famous for reptiles such as chameleons and also more than uh, 50 different kinds of lemurs, unique primates found only on the islands of the hotspot. The experts estimate that Madagascar has lost as much as 80% of its original forest cover due to agricultural expansion, timber exploitation, uncontrolled livestock grazing, wood collection for fuel and charcoal production, hunting, mining, and wildlife collection and introduction of non-native wildlife species. So here in Madagascar and Indian Ocean Island, endangered species are so this turtle and also chameleon. So this is about Madagascar and Indian Ocean Islands hotspot. Next one is Forest of Australia. The Australia, this has approximately 123 million hectares of native forest. So which represent about 16% of Australia's land area. The majority of Australia's trees are hardwoods, typically eucalyptus rather than softwoods like pine. So the majority of Australia trees are hardwoods, typically eucalyptus rather than softwoods like pine trees. So for these forest of Australia, so it's different types of forest are there in the Australia. So here different types of forest are rainforest, Malayalika forest, eucalyptus forest, and also casuarina forest, calitris forest, acacia forest, and also mangrove forest. So these are the types of forest which are present in Australia. So and also the endangered species in Australia are, so here this is Numbata, Colfax and also southern cassowary, koala. So these are the endangered species in the forest of Australia. Mr. Caucasus Mountains, it is the home to the Caucasus Mountains. Caucasus. Next hotspot is Caucasus. It is a home to the Caucasus Mountains, which contain Europe's highest mountain. Which contain Europe's highest mountain, Mount Elbrus, that is 5,648 meters. So it is derives the name of the Caucasus from the Caucasus. So this is meaning is high shining white with snow. The meaning of this cactus is ice shining and white with snow. So it harbors some 6,400 species of higher plants, 1,600 of which are endemic to the region. So here it is having 6,400 species of higher plants. So in which 1,600 of which are endemic into the region. So its wildlife includes Persian leopards, brown bears, owls, bison, marals, golden eagles, and hooded crows. So some of the endangered species which are in Caucasus Mountains are some leopards and brown bears, bison, and golden eagles are some of the endangered species in Caucasus Mountains. So next one is Mesoamerica hotspot. That is, Mesoamerica was a region and cultural area in the Americas. So Mesoamerica, so that was a region and cultural area of Americas. So extending approximately from central Mexico to Belize. So here domestication of cacao and maize, beans, tomato, squash, and chili, as well as turkey and dog. So almost all ecosystems are present in Mesoamerica. So the more well-known are Mesoamerican barrier reef system, and the second largest in the world. So this Mesoamerican reef, it is second largest in the world. So this is also some. These are the some of the examples of endangered species which are in Mesoamerica. That is Mesoamerican reef. So some water based animals like turtles and fishes. So these are the hotspots of biodiversity, important hotspots of biodiversity. And thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.